all. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. This is Joe Mixon, 4th in the NFL in rushing last season. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line.
Our game not even 2 minutes old, but a quick red zone opportunity. 1st and 10 at the 19. From the gun to give to Mixon. He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith. And he will bring this back. It's a pick six and a Raven touchdown.
Now, that was a beautiful play. A pick six. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
What do you mean, with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And following the pick six, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. First down, Seattle, 16 yards the gain there. Mixon with a first down carry. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Wilson escaping the pressure right. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. From the shotgun, Wilson. And that is incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football and now zapped right back in the other direction. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
The drive starts here with a carry by Ingram. And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. The tackle there by Quandre Diggs. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Jackson now down around his goal line. And he is not going to get away. The rush was too strong, and this is going to wind up a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. Oh. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
At the 26-yard line.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Watch the twist, watch the twist. Gotta go, in and out, let's go.
Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4. From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. Open man is Gordon, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a 1st down. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Now Wilson. And this is caught. It's Greg Olsen. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
Hey, 0, 0, 0. 58. 4 down, 4 down.
Mike, 58, right there. I'm
hey, alert.
to you.
Alert.
Check 3.
Match box. Mike.
They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. He finds his man, the tight end Olsen. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 10 yards and a Seattle 1st down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Derek Wolfe there on the tackle.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
From the 22, Wilson is complete to Lockett. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
First and 10 at the 16-yard line.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another first and 10. Mixon will try the right side. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. That gain of 15 gets him on the doorstep, first and goal. They held him in check in the first half, but that's his longest carry of the game right there.
So would this be the definition of fresh legs since he didn't get much done in the first half? Now he has a great opportunity. He's taking full advantage of it.
Hey, alert. Hey, 0.
Here's a run with Mixon. And he will not be denied. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Joe Mixon, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And that gives them a 3-point lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. They'll run with Ingram here to begin the drive. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Marquise Brown, the rookie, his intended target, but now it'll be 3rd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. Only way to play good defense.
And he's got Snead. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 25 yards that time. Well, Snead figures to be an important veteran presence for Lamar Jackson. 2 years ago, it was a disappointing 2017 for Snead. That was in New Orleans, but then had a bit of a bounce back. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop it.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
And it's 3rd down.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down.
Let's go.
Jackson from the shotgun. He'll buy some time right. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield that gets intercepted.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have, and think back to our meeting with the head coach, and we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Greg Olsen was the intended target, and now it's third down.
51's mine. Ain't no such thing as a loss. We take it win.
Well left.
Check four.
From the gun, it's Wilson. And they've got the hookup. This is Olsen. He chucks him aside.
Dumped him.
An excellent pickup of 34 yards. Well, that certainly changes things.
Yeah, I think the thought process is they take this lead into the locker room, run something simple here and run the clock out. Instead, they get the big play. Now they have a chance to increase what they've done in the first half.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Now Joe Mixon. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Now they run with Mixon. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 7 yards there and a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Now it's Wilson. He'll let this go for the end zone. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
Check.
To throw again on second down. Jackson, he's going deep for Brown. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on second down leads us to 3rd and inches. They'll try to run for the first with Ingram. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. Buying time to his left, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Now, following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. Jackson. And an alley to run. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
Now it's Wilson, forced out to his left. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but if they make them out of bounds, that does you no good.
2nd and 10. It's Wilson again. Going for Metcalf. He's got it at the 15. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half.
First and 10 at the 12-yard line.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
Their own 20-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking.
And he'll be forced out of bounds shy of the line of scrimmage, so that'll be credited as a sack. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Hey, check.
Final play of the half here. It's Jackson. Stepping up. He's going to keep it. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half.
Let's go. Let's go.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Throwing on 2nd down. Wilson. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And all the way down to the 35. A big change in field position there. That's 40 yards on the catch and run. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Mixon. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or two.
At the 37-yard line.
Hey, move the team.
Check Mike 39. Okay, double up. Hey, check Mike 39.
On 2nd and 12, Wilson. And the tight end Olsen, right side. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
On 3rd down, Wilson steps away to his left. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
The throw here to Andrews, the tight end. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Watch out. Zoom. Let's go, Mike 50. Mike 50. It's coming this
from midfield now. Here's Jackson. And that is incomplete here.
This has been a really nice day for the defense. They've made it so difficult to find open receivers because they're able to squeeze the passing lanes down. A lot of what they're doing is communicating. Receivers in one area, receivers in another area. They're almost what they call passing them off from one defender to the next, even in zone defenses, and making it very hard to find an open spot for the quarterback to deliver the ball.
Now Justin Tucker. He has hit from 61 in his career, so he has the leg for this. 64 was Matt Prater's record. This would top that by a yard. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Now Jackson on first down. Flush to his right. Towards the end zone for Brown. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Hollywood Brown, the intended receiver. And it's second down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team is playing excellent defense. Great communication.
And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Jaron Reed in there to record another sack, and that is now 6 on the afternoon for this defensive unit. On the draw, this is Ingram. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's fourth down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing, but with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it.
The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. They get 17 on that one. Move the chains. First down, Seahawks. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on first and 10. Mixon. Takes this one across the 35 to the 36. A gain of about 4.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Mike 51, Mike 51. We ain't ball trot.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. From the 36, Wilson. Flushed out right. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle. So in Raven territory now. Here's a first and 10 at the 49-yard line. Now Mixon. And he's going to get this one down to the 45. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Wilson leaves this one with Penny. He'll get only a couple down to the 44.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Hey, check Mike 39. Check Mike 39. You're not ready. You're not ready. Hey, check Mike 39. Check Mike 39. Too little, Cupcake.
From the gun on 3rd down. Wilson. And the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down.
Charles, all things considered, I guess that's not a critical miss at this stage, is it?
No, but still everything helps when you're trying to finish off a ball game. And you're right, not critical in terms of the scoreboard and the team, but the guy with the golden foot, he knows he's only as good as his last kick.
It's a pickup of 11 at a Baltimore 1st down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. From the gun, it's Jackson. And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49. Mike Daniels in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Eluding the pressure right. And an alley to run. A breakdown defensively there as the scramble is going to set him up with a much more manageable 3rd down. The Ravens on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. From the gun, Jackson. He may try and run for this. Jackson, always a threat to run. He's got the 1st down. He was the NFL's leading rusher among QBs a year ago. Everyone in this stadium knows Jackson can do that as well as any QB in the league. They talked about limiting some of his running this year, especially the design runs, but he's still going to scramble when he feels he has green in front of him. He led all quarterbacks last year, 695 yards rushing. And keep in mind, 80% of those came in the 7-game stretch when he was named starter late in the season. A 10th carry here for Mark Ingram. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Right here, right here.
And now Jackson will look to throw it. This one complete to Ingram. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Throwing is Jackson. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown, his 6th touchdown of the season, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. And it's no good. It has not been his day. That's the 2nd extra point he's missed so far. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. Fairly short kick, taken at the 14 here. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And barring mistakes, they should be able to kneel this one out and finish it off. And there's only one timeout remaining on the defensive side of the ball, so that doesn't really come into play either. Ravens going to use their third and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. They'll stay on the ground, mixing again. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. So here we go, Charles, 3rd down. Any chance you're throwing?
I don't think so. I think you got to keep the clock rolling here.
And they, in fact, will throw it. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Now here's Michael Dixon as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And there's a work of art right there. Out of bounds at the 2-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They have time here, partner, for just one final heave.
And I have to look at it from the defense's perspective.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And this defense has broken it open as they return it to the house for 6. This was a close game. They needed a little breathing room. Boy, they got it right there on that return for a touchdown.
Yeah, we would say that this could be huge. Forget it. It was huge. Gave him a comfortable lead.
Myers connects on the PAT, and that pushes the lead up to 11.